welcome to our first episode of the new year of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. I want to take this time to shout out our sponsors. First up, we have Defend Hawaii. They just finished their Christmas season. They got some new stuff coming out. Go check them out at Noan at Windward Mall or go to defendhawaii.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon your checkout. You'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Go check them out. Next, we have IREP Detail Supply, and they have everything you need to detail your car, your truck, your van. I just got my dad a electric buffer for his car for Christmas from IREP Detail Supply, and he's all stoked. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center. Go check out Kaika. If not, go to irepdetailsupply.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Next, we have Hawaii Candy Factory, and their snacks are everywhere. They're in the cute noms packaging. They also have fundraiser opportunities if you're trying to fundraise for like your kids' soccer or volleyball or football teams. Go to hawaiicandyfactory.com. Promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. You'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Last but not least, we have our Hawaii Medicinal Mushroom Company. And I've been taking this stuff religiously every single day in the morning. And it's these mushroom extract, and they extract from lion's mane mushroom, the chaga mushroom, and also turkey tail. And if you don't know what they do, lion's mane known to increase energy, focus, memory, and improve your mood. The chaga mushroom will boost your immune system, fight inflammation, and also balance your gut health. The turkey tail, which is their newest one, it's known to fight cancer tumors, viruses, boost your endurance, and overall health. So go check them out. This one, you go to their website, you go to medmushroomhigh.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, all capitals. You'll receive 45% off your first tincture of whatever mushroom you want. So go check them out. I take this stuff every single day. Well, we had a great new year. We're glad to be back at the podcast, and we're gonna have some new stuff, and we're gonna be starting to do things in the future a little differently, and hopefully you're sticking with us. Aloha. Okay, welcome to another edition of the podcast. This is our first episode of the year, and this week my guest is one of my favorite fighters from Hawaii, and I can honestly say I went to travel to watch this dude fight in the UFC multiple times. Russell Doane, what's up, man? Happy New Year.
Yo, Dad. Happy New Year, bro.
Bruh, it's good to see you, man. I know you recently got to jump back into the cage for the first time in a long time. How did that go, and what made you even want to continue to fight again?
When I first started this whole thing, I guess I made the decision to go all out. I told myself I'd do it till I was 39 years old, and recently I took a break, just make sure I was healthy and all the whatever issues was going on, and now that everything was clear and I was fully healthy, fully able to commit to it, I figure I just keep that promise to myself and go a little longer.
But you're still passionate about martial arts and all that. Like, you still wanted to compete.
I'm passionate about violence.
I guess so, huh? But you don't
Yeah.
seem that way as a person. Like, talking story with you, you're never you're more of a silly dude in my opinion versus a violent dude. I know you
Yeah.
have your violent side and I've seen it up close, you know what I mean? But personality wise, you seem like more of a laid back kind of dude. And I guess that's probably the best fighters. The best fighters aren't the ones that gotta prove it to everybody. They just do it when it's time to do it. But how did you even get into fighting and MMA? Like when you were a little kid, or like I never even got to ask you this, and I known you forever, man.
Yeah, I boxed when I was a kid, I feel like I was like 6 years old, maybe like 9 or 10 years old, I boxed maybe. And in high school I wrestled, and then
Yeah.
after high school wrestling, I didn't go out to college or anything, and I stayed back, and I decided to help coach the wrestling team at Waipalo High School. And one of my wrestlers one day, like, like I was like missing competition. I haven't gotten to wrestle anybody in a long time. And he just goes, "Hey, you should come check out our fight gym." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I'm like stoked, I'm so excited. And like the next day I go there and I'm like an hour early. I'm just sitting there and nobody's there. And Harris comes. Harris is the guy. He shows up. He's like the gym guy. He opens the door, and he rolls up the gate and whatnot. And he's like wrapping his hands and he looks at me, "Hey, bro, you want to spar?"
Your
I'm like,
first
"Oh,
day.
yeah, yeah." Like nobody else is there, just me and him. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And
Did
I
you
wrap
know him?
up. No, not at all. So like this is my very this is literally the introduction to Harry. Like this is like my and I must have like caught him good because he just beat me silly. Like he beat the crap out of me. And it must have been like one of those things where I like hit him. He's like, "Oh, okay," and he just beat me up. But I knew right then and there, like, I love this. Like that was so much fun. I want to keep doing this.
Wait, so your first day, you show up to the gym, nobody's there. Harris opens the
No.
gym. You the
Yep.
first time meeting him, and he's
Yep.
like, "Oh, you like spar and you
Yep.
wrap up." Do
That's
you even have a
literally
mouthpiece?
that's literally the introduction I got to 808 Fight Factory and Harris Sarmiento.
Oh, not even a jumping jacks first or nothing. Just
No,
wrap your
no,
hand.
that was like the introduction. Like I just went in there, just went over that. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Boo, 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 beat up, and I was just like, "This is." I was right. This was fun, and I just never stopped after that.
That's it. That's kind of insane, bro. Like you could go straight up with Harris, a pro
I
MMA
wouldn't. I
fighter.
wouldn't call it straight up. Yeah, I got straight to beat up is what it was.
I guess after that, like the next day wasn't gonna be like any more worse. You know what I mean?
No, he beat me up forever. Like he, Harry beat me up forever, man. To this day, Harry still catches me.
Oh yeah, he's still in it, huh? I see him at the gym every now and then. And he's coaching. Last I heard he was coaching in hybrid house.
Yeah, yeah. Harry's
Yeah.
actually a really good coach. He has a solid team behind him.
Oh
And
yeah.
they all like respect him too, and that's a big thing.
Oh yeah. And he definitely has a lot of knowledge and walked it like he talks it, man. He fought. He probably has like almost 100 fights, man.
Yeah, no, he's fought like the best of the best too. Harry was a warrior. Like he was a warrior's warrior.
Yeah. So your first fight, like you fought amateur, like I remember hearing the your name for the first time was in, I think it was either Super Bra or Icon, like
That was
back
the
in the
icon. That
day.
was the pro one. Yeah, yeah. That was the last icon that had.
So you fought amateurs first, like
Yeah, I had a
in the
few
small
amateur fights.
shows.
Yep.
How was your first fight when the first time going in a cage versus like wrestling is totally different, huh?
Yeah, like it's still the same kind of nerves. It's still the same kind of nerves, I guess. And you just once you get over it, just like muscle memory takes over.
Yeah. But then once you turn pro, you got to freaking take your career to another level. I mean, when we first got introduced to you, we kind of started sponsoring you. I remember you had agent on your ass couple of the
Mm,
fights, and then
mm.
you fought. I remember one time you fought. They had King of the was it? Yeah, it was King of the Cage or was X1, and you won the championship. And because like we were like wanted to see you, like you came to the after party all fucking hurt and bust up.
Yeah, yeah. I was that was the king of the cage. I remember that. I was beat up. Yeah, my
And you
face
came,
was like swollen.
I think I have a picture of that.
Yeah, like my
We're at
my
the
forehead
club.
was like that big. Yes.
We're in suits, and you're like with your belt all fucked up. I'm like, bro, why'd you come? 'Cause I want
Yeah.
to see you guys.
Showed up for a little bit at least.
Yeah. I remember, oh, you had some weird situations. I remember my it was like my sister got married, and right after her wedding, like you were fighting at Aloha Tower, and after my sister's wedding party and everything, I kept calling people and like, oh, is Russell fighting? He's like, oh no, he's going on after. So we got down there. You were gonna, they didn't have you come out yet, and we're like, oh, okay, we didn't miss it. We get to Aloha Tower, and this is like you're the main event. We're like we're already trashed because we were at a wedding all night. Me, Hoppa, and Chris, and we're like, yeah, we didn't miss Russell. He's coming out, and you came out, and then your opponent chickened out or something, and he never
Yeah,
showed
yeah.
up.
The fight that never happened. That's
Yeah,
the yeah, yeah. It was like after 12 o'clock or something like that.
yeah, I
They said,
remember. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like bummed, man. I was like, what the hell? Like shoot.
I remember they said they came on the mic and said, "Oh, because the contract was signed for a certain day, and
Yeah,
after 12 o'clock, it's a different day. He never
yeah,
like fight you." I'm like, "Holy
yeah.
shit! This guy must have seen you in the weigh-ins and stalled to midnight to get out of
Yeah.
this."
That's just a bummer.
Yeah,
Man, I was all ready to go.
yeah. But man, watching you compete in Hawaii back in the day when you were starting your pro career and building up, man, those were the most funnest times for us as fans. Cause I mean, you're our dude, and you were just smashing everybody. And like we always thought, like, okay, Russell's gonna get a shot at the big show. And bruh, I remember going to a bunch of those Destiny fights and all that, and just thinking, okay, after this one, guarantee he can get the call. And then finally, you got a call from UFC. How did you feel when like the moment actually came and you got to fucking get that contract and make it real?
Yeah, I remember I was a carpenter at the time, and I was on a job site with my helper, and I think we were cleaning. I'm pretty sure we were cleaning up for the day, but I might have just called the day early. But my manager called me, and he's just like, I'm outside, and he's like, "Hey, we got the call. Like, we're in." And I'm like I said, like sit down, like take it all in, like no way. And I'm like, and I tell my helper, I'm like, clean up, put everything in. I was like, like packed up all my tools and like all of this tools right here. Like, it's yours. I don't want none of this. I was like, I am not coming back to this. Fuck this. I'm out.
Oh, you can quit right there.
Yeah, man, I hate carpentry. Like like I like it enough that I'm good enough at it, but it's just not like the thing that like fulfills me.
Yeah.
Not quite the same.
Bruh, I guess you're destined to do it. And then your first fight in the UFC, bruh, and you finally made it. And I remember, oh, was it Brimage? Was it
No, that
Brimage?
one was Leandro Issa was the first one in
Oh,
Singapore.
okay. Oh
Brimage
yeah, it
was
was a weird time difference.
Yep. It was like 2 a.m. here or something like that.
Yeah, and I remember I forget what we were doing, but we all watched it like together.
Right.
Like all the boys was watching it, and he was like a full-on jujitsu champion,
Yeah.
and you fucking uh you caught him in a triangle, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did. It's funny. He actually caught me in I caught him in the triangle he caught me in because when he did it to me, I was like, motherfucker, because that's like he set me up with the setup I used to try to set people up with, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. But I think I stood up.
yeah.
That like saved me.
I remember you caught him in the triangle, and like the announcers was just like, he beat the jujitsu dude with
Yeah, yeah.
jujitsu, and
Yeah, yeah.
you won the bonus.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. That was good times.
I know because the as soon as you got back, we got the call and we met you and Lewis at FemNu. I
Those
remember
are good times.
as soon as you came out, you guys are like, we're out. We're like, okay, where are you? We're like at FemNu. It's like, okay, we're coming, and then we just like celebrated with you guys because Lewis won like a couple days or weeks before, and then you
Yeah.
won, and both you guys are signed, and it was like, oh, you guys are like celebs right now, and freaking
Yeah, we definitely lived it up. Like me and Lewis, we had a good time. We,
yeah.
like the little brother I never wanted. So whatever whatever it was, he always wanted to get into some kind of trouble.
Yep, you guys were yeah, you guys are inseparable, and oh man,
Yeah,
we was always down to have fun with you guys.
yeah, no lie. Lewis just never left my side. He
Yeah.
he he said it himself. Like I think he like came to practice and then I don't know if I beat him up or something, but he was like, I'm gonna do what he does, everything he does, wherever he goes, I'm going where he goes, and he just never left my side.
You guys still close? You still talk to him a lot?
I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, like it's like life kind of things, but I do call him, hit him up once in a while. We talk stories. Him too, he's finding a life outside of
Yeah.
fighting right now.
Yeah. It was cool because a couple times we were fortunate enough to go to the mainland and watch both you guys fight in the UFC, and bro, it's for friends and fans. It was a different experience when, right, you're seeing your friend like on the big stage standing there, and we're just like losing our shit in the crowd, just like, bruh,
Yeah.
it was so much fun to watch you compete. And I mean, to how it is now, and I know you took a break, and now you're kind of getting back into it. After you took that break, what were you doing in the middle between your last fight and then the fight you just had?
Oh shoot, there's so many things, I mean, over the span of that time, let's see, like I won joint custody of my son, so I was able to
Oh,
focus on that and make sure that I could be a part of his life.
yeah.
Um, I had some like there was a time in my life where I was under so much stress. I was under so much stress. I began having like seizures, right? And that was the main thing why I had to like really stop and slow things down and figure out what was going on. Um, And also the reason that I wanted to make sure I was completely healthy before I came back,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, other than that, like I've really, really found like I really love being a trainer. I love coaching people, um, with all the fight stuff, right? I have a bunch of clients. I'm a personal trainer on the outside. I also work at the UFC gym. Um, I teach a bunch of classes there. I have a few clients there, and it's really good. Place to be.
I think you have a lot of knowledge to pass on to people, and you probably, knowing your personality, probably have fun way to connect with the people that you train. I wanted to talk to you about being a dad because for me it's been huge, and I'm very close with my daughter, and I see how you are, and I know the kind of the little bit of the backstory of the struggles you're going through, but how has your relationship been with your son, and what have you guys been up to recently?
Man, I gotta tell you, my son is the shit. Like he's so awesome. Don't get me wrong, he's like a little crazy. He's just a little boy. He wants to do crazy things, you know. But shoot, what? Like he does jujitsu and he takes some boxing classes himself. I make sure that he's like active, you know.
Yeah.
We started playing Fortnite together. Yeah, I was just earlier. He was like saving me. I'm like I'm terrible at this game. I don't know what's going on, right? Uh, but yeah, like he, I just can't wait till I get to see him every time I get to see him, and when I do see him, like it's like the best days, you know. There's
Yeah.
days he drives me nuts, and I just want to knock him out, but I can't because that's terrible, right?
For the most part, you can shake them a little bit. No, no, no.
No, my son is super lucky because like me, like I don't give him lickings.
Yeah.
You know, like every once in a while, like I'll pretend and I'll like threaten him or whatnot, but he knows he's not gonna get lickings. Like I you know what I mean? Like I got lickings when I was a kid, but something about it, I can't really bring myself to hit him. You know, like in the very beginning, you know, when he was younger, like I would spank him and whatnot, but he just he didn't take it the same way like I would have expected. Like when I was a kid, my mom would beat me up, I would just start crying. You
Yeah.
know, like I would smack him, he would just like suck it in, and then you know, like over like a few minutes, like you know, I gotta like you know, you talk to him like you don't understand what's going on, and then he would just break down crying hard, and I'm like, wow, like I feel like he takes it like more personal
Oh,
than
he holds on to it, kind.
yeah, like, and I was like, man, I don't like this. Like, this doesn't feel good, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I tried everything. Like, I tried like wall sits, like, oh, you want to act up? Oh, sit against the wall. I gotta tell you, he just gets stronger, and he just gets better. It's like I don't know, you know, like what do I do? Like I remember one time, um, I also help take care of my sister's kids. So my sister's kids, two boys and a girl, so they're all together anyway. Um,
So you on
one time,
squad.
yeah. So you know, but this is good because my son he has people to grow up with. Like you know, when
Yeah.
he's with like I don't have any other kids, so he almost always has other kids to play with because kids love kids. Like
Yeah.
I can only be Godzilla for so long. You know what I mean? After I remember, I this is the exact story. I one time I tried to be Godzilla. He's like, "Dad, be Godzilla. I'm gonna be King Kong." And after 20 minutes, I was like, "I cannot be Godzilla anymore." Like I was like laying there like a pal, just kill me, you know. But
King Kong wins this round.
yeah, no, but like they just go. So when they're all
Oh
together,
yeah.
they just go nuts, and you know we make sure they have fun. But at one time, they were just driving me nuts, you know. And none of them, they're so lucky, none of them get lickings, but it was like raining outside. I was like, screw this. I was like, you guys want to act up? Put on your shoes. We're going to the field. And I had them run laps in the pouring rain, sprints in the pouring rain, push ups, burpees, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, oh, you guys want to act up? So every once in a while, like, you know, I'll like threaten them with something. But they're pretty good kids, so they don't have to for the most part.
How old is your son right now?
7. He just turned 7 in October.
Oh, that was fast, huh?
So fast. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Like, oh man, one day they're like, you know, in their diapers, learning to walk, and the next thing you know, they're running you over. Shoot.
Bruh, my daughter turned 13 and she asked me today who I was having on my show, and I said, Russell, you might have remember him. He used to get one IV in the living room of the Emma
Yeah,
Beach house. She's thinking, I kind of remember a bunch of people there, but I don't know if she could pick you out, but bruh, she's 13 now. It's a fucking trip.
yeah. It's so crazy because like you always see like yourself, like whenever they do let's they just do dumb stuff sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, now I remember why my sisters used to yell at me. Like that's exactly the thing they used to yell at me about. I'm so sure.
So your son's like a little bully, like
So
like little Russell.
my mom said that he's my karma. That he's my karma for how I used to be when I was a kid. Just wild.
That's funny, bro. So you're enjoying being a dad, I could tell, you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, totally. Even like my nieces and nephews, like I try to be like a real positive influence in their life as well.
Yeah, I definitely can tell you got that vibe about you. Um so you've been, like you said, coaching and doing private lessons. I always wonder, okay, so you're doing private lessons or you're coaching, and have you ever, like, what are the craziest situations you have been in? Because okay, so I used to like help out coaching kickboxing and taekwondo, and for me, my biggest craziest moment was there was I don't know if you know who Patricia Ford is. She was this Playboy playmate.
Uh-huh.
Um, she was like this fucking dime, like super pretty, and she was in our women's kickboxing class, and she'd wear like this tight top, and I had to hold mitts for her, and bro, it was very distracting. And
Just eye
I
contact.
yeah, there's no way, bro. Like I got punched in the face a couple times because I wasn't looking how I should. And I'm thinking like, bruh, there, like if you run into the same kind of situations.
When I first started coaching like years ago, it had to be pretty sure I've been coaching for like 10 years or something like that, but it was the UFC gym in Waikele. And there was this woman, never saw her again. She's like a visitor. I believe she lived in Alaska. And she was visiting here. She's going on a European trip. And so she wanted to do 2 days of like a workout. She's gonna go in some place in Europe. And the first day she wanted to do some boxing, some mid work. And and I gotta tell you, like this chick could hit. She definitely knew what she and I'm like, okay, like, you know, okay, so she can punch, and I'm like, okay. And she's saying like, where I'm going, they like it's kind of known for like kidnapping and rape and stuff. So she wants to be able to protect herself, right? And she's like punching, and I'm like, man, like you don't need my help. Like, yeah, I think you're good, but I didn't say. So the first day she like punching mitts, and the second day she wants to do some grappling. So she wants me to teach her some grappling stuff. And me and her, we're in the middle of the cage at the UFC gym, like Kelly, and I teach her an armbar. I'm showing her the armbar, like I'm like, okay, you go like this, you do this thing, and you do the thing, right? Okay, your turn. And then so I'm sitting in her guard. So you got to kind of play the imagination. We're in the middle of the cage. I'm sitting in her guard. Okay, do the armbar. And she goes, this doesn't feel real enough. Like, can you put your hands on my neck? And I'm like, okay. So I'm like in her guard in the middle of the cage on my knees with my hands on her neck. I'm like, this cannot look good. Like,
And anybody can see.
everybody's looking like we're in the middle of the kid. Like this cannot look good. This looks so weird. And after that, I didn't teach jujitsu for like probably like 8 years. Like I'm not teaching nobody. Never putting myself in that situation again. That was weird, man.
Maybe she wanted like to get realistic feel of how to get raped. At least
No,
she
that's
didn't.
no, that's what she said. But I was like, this is so weird. Like I wasn't ready, you know.
So you training people now? Are you training people like to stay in shape? Or are you putting out fighters like people that's gonna compete kind?
I was working with a bunch of fighters. I was working with a bunch of amateur fighters, but I think it's just that, like your schedule gets so packed as a fighter, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta fit in your mitts, your whatever sessions you gotta get in. And their schedule started to like fade because they all had different fight schedules, of course. And then just really kind of dwindled for the fighter part. But I still like I'm always with like Tyson Nam and Ian and few other guys come by too. And if they have fights come up, sometimes they're asking me for advice and whatnot.
You get to corner anybody?
Um yeah, Tyson asks if I can corner him when he does fight. If it lines up with a weekend that I don't have my son, then I'll go.
He's still fighting UFC.
I think he's out now.
Hmm.
I think he's out now. I'm not 100% positive, but I think he is.
I don't wanted to ask you. So, like you said, you were always close with Lewis, and you got to corner him a few times, right? How is cornering not only like someone that you train with, but someone that's super close with you? You know what I mean? Like you flew all over the world cornering Lewis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Was it?
It's more. I'm more nervous watching him fight than I am. You know what I mean? At least when I fight, I'm in control of the fight.
Yeah.
And with like, man, but Lewis is like the toughest. Like Lewis is the toughest little bastard ever, ever, ever. Like I've watched Lewis just get beat up and ragdolled for 2 rounds and come back in the third round and win. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, I guess at some point you just like, okay, like you just gotta be like Lewis is probably gonna get licked in the first round.
That's part of the
Like, I don't
strategy.
know what kind of licking is gonna happen, but he'll probably wake up around the second round and take over at some point, you know. But it's usually like you kind of know in the first round Lewis is gonna catch some cracks.
Yeah, I remember the first time watching him fight at Blaisdell, like he got kind of owned like the first part of the fight, and then he just dominated and won, and then he won like the fight of the night and got a watch or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good memory. Yeah, Lewis has it like he's so fucking like the voice in the back of his head, like just what doesn't make let him quit. Like
Yeah.
somebody in there is calling him a bitch, and he's like, I'm not a bitch, you know what I mean?
I remember watching you fight, and the your demeanor was just different, brah. We would and like we were so hyped on you, and you got into the cage. It was just like, oh, Russell's just gonna destroy this person. And most times it would just be like a fucking beat down. Like you would mess some dudes up. I think the only time I was tripping was when we went to watch you fight in the UFC, was in Vegas, and you fight this black guy. And I
That was
remember,
British.
no, it was a
Oh,
different guy.
Gerard Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember seeing him weigh in, and he was this scrawny, because we were in the weigh-ins, we went to all your shit, you know what I mean? And he was like scrawny, and I'm like, oh, okay, Russell's gonna dominate this dude. And bruh, I remember he got to the cage and he took off his shirt. I'm like, holy shit, that's not the same guy that weighed in, dude.
Yeah, no, man, I'm telling you, I was like a very normal size bantamweight. Like, the bantamweight women? Like I've
Yeah.
stood next to Misha Tate and I've stood next to like Kat Zingano. and I gotta like puff up my chest because they're like just a little bit bigger than me. So I gotta like stand a little bigger. Like fuck this, man. But most guys I fought were gigantic. Like
Yeah.
remember Yuri Alcantara?
Yes.
Oh my God, that guy was. We were in Brazil and I was fighting him. It was weigh-in day, and I went to go take a piss, and they got the urinals that are like a long rectangle thing, you know. And then I fucking take a piss, and I'm standing there, and this dude stands right next to me, and I can see like shoulder line is like up here somewhere, you know what I mean? And I like glance up like that, and it's fucking Yuri, and I'm like, how the fuck is this guy that big? I'm like just standing there, like just staring off at the wall. Now I'm like, how is he this big? Like, oh my God, like I don't know how they get that big, man.
Yeah, I don't know. They drain blood before they weigh in. I don't know.
Yeah, I fought this guy in the Philippines. His name was Masato Sanai, and I remember we were gonna do some video stuff, and I go downstairs with Harry, and then we go in the line to stand to do our videos, and there's this guy outside the door, and he's like pumping himself up. He's like walking back and forth, trying to break a sweat or whatever it is he's doing, and it's my opponent. And I look at Harry, and I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, this guy is fucking huge. And I look at Harry, and I go, Harry, I think maybe they think I'm fighting at featherweight because that guy's huge, and he has
He
the
wrote
flyer.
my shit down wrong.
Yeah, and he just has the flyer, and he goes, nope, it says 135. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how are these guys? I don't know how they get so big, man. Maybe it's me, you know what I mean? I just got like heavy bones. I don't know. Maybe my ears.
I know one time, I don't know if I talked to you while you were there or after, but you were in I think it was Singapore, and you were telling me to have like strict rules,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't spit gum out
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
stuff, and something happened with the toilet and you got all
Yeah.
worried.
Yeah, man. Like the very first time we went to Singapore, the very first time we went to Singapore, long flight and whatnot. And we already knew that, they already would tell you like there are all kind of rules. And we just get there, me and Ranjan, and we just get there, we go up to our room, and we're supposed to go check in at the check-in office or whatever. And I gotta take a shit. So I go to the bathroom, I use the bathroom, and I go to flush it. I think it's like clogged. Like I'm then like okay, it runs like, oh, we gotta go. So we just go down, and we go down to the room, and we see Rylan Lazarus and his wife Tiff, and just like, hey guys, like so nice, like, hey guys, I know you guys know that there's a lot of rules here in Singapore, but just a few that you might run into every day here. I just wrote down a list, and she shows me the list, and number one said, don't like basically like don't leave shit in the toilet, like
And it's already
jail time.
upstairs.
Yeah, jail time. And I'm like, I'll be right back. I gotta run to the I ran upstairs, and I called room service, like, hey guys, just gotta
You're
cover
just
my
gonna leave them.
bathroom. I mean, we had to go to the office, I was like, shoot, I'll just take care of this after. Let's take care of this after. But she showed me that. I was like, no, I gotta do this now.
Oh, that would have been fucking so weird. Like you cannot fight because you're in jail because you unclogged the toilet.
Yeah. And I didn't say anything, they found out.
Oh, good thing you got. Okay, so recently I've noticed, well, I always known you as to be a funny guy. I remember you're on ESPN because you smelled your sock in the holding area at UFC, and they showed that clip. But you've been doing like you're a content creator now. Like that, I guess that
Something like
no way to describe it differently. So
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
putting out these funny videos while you're training and stuff like that. And right, you're putting out one like every single day almost, huh?
Yeah, man. It's just, make people laugh. It's fun for me. Like, like you said, me as like a funny clown guy, and me, like I always have stupid thoughts go through my head, like funny, like man, that would just be funny, like haha, like somebody would say something in my brain, I'd be like haha, he said doo doo, you know what I mean, something like that, whatever, like little things, so at my job, right, there's a like because I'm just on impulse, right, at my job, there's like the coach's locker room, and one day I'm like leaving, and I'm like leaving the coach's locker room, and in my head I go, what if I just switch some lockers around, It's like that. And I like, okay, I think I have some time so fast. I just switched a couple lockers, and I leave, no problems, no worries. I just smile my way out. And then maybe a week later, and I wasn't there. Oh, my coworker told me, but he's like, yeah, yeah, bro, the boss is like yelling at us. She's like, who the fuck switched the fucking lockers? What donkey went in there and moved the lockers? And one of the girls goes, "This has Russell written all over it." And my boss goes, "Oh, haha, it's funny."
It was funny because it was you.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you know me, like I just do dumb things. I think dumb things, and sometimes I just react on it.
So how do you come up with the videos that you make?
Um, I mean, I just look through Instagram and I see people do things, and it's just like I just flip it to go to like an MMA boxing because there's so many things boxing, wrestling,
Yeah.
pick one and I just try to flip it somehow. Um, you know, if it's funny to me, then it might be funny to somebody else.
So who you got filming all this shit for you? Or or are you just putting it on a tripod? Or you got some
Yeah,
guy
you
that's
know what I mean? Like my girlfriend helps me. Like if honestly, she's probably better at the camera work than I am, but because she can't be by my side all the time, you have a tripod. I just stand it up and I'm just running around the gym, like put it down, move over here, put it down, move over there. People are looking at me like, what is this guy doing? And I just like it makes sense when you see the video. Like until they see the video, I just look like an asshole.
I guess so. It's do people like get annoyed with you or like
Nah, I stay out of people's way. And for the most part, like honestly, the UFC gym in Milani, like I love that gym. The people there are so cool, so chill. They just get along with each other, all really nice people. And they like have parties together, they have get-togethers. Like these people like really do become family.
okay. So for your content, has it been catching on and like are people knowing you more for your content or oh that's Russell the fighter? Like the I know him from watching UFC and shit like that.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Like I guess it's a little of both, but I do get like more of the Instagram guy. Like, yeah, I see your stuff on Instagram. Like, oh yeah, yeah, thank you.
Well, it's social media, bro. You can reach so much people now, and you putting out funny stuff, bro. Like, and you're right. It does make people laugh. A couple times I'm stressed out at work, and I'll see Russell doing some weird shit at the gym, and just kind of helps break up the stress for me, at least at work.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I find it's funny for me too. I laugh, man. I watch it over and over, just laughing to myself like an idiot.
yeah. So, where do you want to take this? Like, are you trying to build it to where it becomes like a brand and you can start trying to use it for other things and
I mean, I think social media in general, you should try to figure out how you can make some kind of money from it, right? I mean, if you're just a consumer, then that's all you'll do.
yeah.
Um, sure, sure. I mean, you gotta build like a following and stuff. I actually like I've gotten a bunch of free gear. Like I made a video, and these guys saw me wearing their shirt, and they're like, "Hey, let me throw you a bunch of shirts." So I got a bunch of shirts from them. Other brands have been giving me a few things. I think I just did like this partnership with a um like a fitness brand, Prozis, and so I'll be promoting some of their like products and whatnot,
Oh,
you
oh, that's
know.
cool. So people are taking to what you're doing and want to endorse you and maybe get sponsorship and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it's just dumb things I like doing anyway. You know,
Yeah.
like I like doing dumb stuff, making dumb stupid videos. I don't know what it is. It's weird, but it's like the comedian in me, it
Yeah.
wants to make people laugh.
Well, it's gotta have yin yang, right? You're like you said, you love violence and then you also love making people laugh. You like fucking
Yeah,
people up and then making them laugh after.
yeah, man. Like growing up, I didn't even get into fights. I've been in one street fight in my whole life.
Oh,
And
really?
and that was only as an adult. But I was always really good at not getting into fights. In my family, I'm the good boy. I used to like hold their backpacks while everybody would be beating people up and like getting into fights at school. I'm just really good I'm not really like I don't know. I want to say I'm not really like a fight. I'm not like a violent person. Like I'm not somebody who picks out fights or anything like that.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it that, you know what I mean? Like makes me feel so alive. Like it's like
Adrenaline.
weird. Yeah, no, totally. But it's just also like inflicting pain on people. Like I personally like I need to get my butt kicked. I go to multiple gyms, but I really like going with people who can like jujitsu guys who like just strangle me and beat me up. Because it's no fun otherwise, right? If you're the guy just beating everybody up, then that's no fun. You gotta catch some cracks. Makes you feel
True.
alive.
Gives you goals too, huh?
Yeah, make you feel human. Man, there's these some guys like, I mean, this is like, but like like Lowen Tananis, Lowen
Yeah.
Tananis. Like I know he's like a freak of nature, but like there are days where I'm rolling with Lowen and I feel like, man, wow, I feel like I'm having a really good day. And then there's like a day where Lowen will just decide to pick it up on me, and he just fucking uses me like a rag doll. Like he just uses me like a rag to wash his ass. You know what I mean? He does whatever he wants, however he wants, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, I remember now. Like,
Brought you back down to
yeah,
reality.
yeah, thank you. I needed that.
Oh, so you really never got into fights much. I do remember me. I don't know if it's the same one, but I do remember you telling me you got into a fight in Okinawa, right? Was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
that's the one
That was
you're
fun. That's the only one
that was
that was fun. But yeah. But for the most part, like I just I'm not that guy, Like I don't
yeah.
want to have to, it's like with that, what is it, like a warrior in a garden kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to fight people, but I love fighting. I it's whatever, right? But it's not a punk, I guess.
Yeah, you're definitely not a punk. I sometimes I forget where we were and you told me like these guys are acting up or something. I'm thinking like, bruh, they don't know what's gonna happen to them or like if you need a badge like oh I'm this dude and have like
Yeah,
your
yeah. It's funny, that one fight that we did get into in Okinawa, it was with me and a bunch of other UFC fighters. We were trying to tell them, like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, we don't want to fight. Like, we're professional fighters. We fight all the time. And they're like, we fight all the time. Fuck you. They're like, and we're just like, oh man. Some guys just don't care, you know?
they think we can't get these guys like we train too, you know
Yeah, yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. But I mean, shoot, just never really got into trouble.
Well, that's probably a good thing. Future wise, where do you see your fighting career, your teaching and coaching career going?
Um, like like when I think about my UFC career, like even though I have a lot of good memories, and I'm constantly like going back to it and like, man, I remember this one time, this and this and that. It's like I have so many stories.
Yeah.
But I really feel like I never like stopped to like look around and be like, wow, like look what's going on. Like this is crazy, you know. I never
Take it
really like,
in.
yeah, I don't. I feel like I didn't do it enough. I just the one opportunity I missed, you know. So
Yeah.
in this like few years that I'm gonna still be fighting, I just want to enjoy it. Like I want to just go out there and just have fun. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because just being there and fighting for the fun of fighting instead of it being
Yeah.
like just a career, just a job kind of thing, you know?
I do understand, and I don't know if you remember, and which kind of made my night at the time. I remember the same thing and wish I took more of it in. And one time you were fighting at Blaisdell, and I asked you, "Hey, call me when you're gonna get your hands taped," and you did, and I got to run down and I watched you tape your hands, and it made me reminisce and think about certain moments of my life, and uh, I took it in, and because I got to see you do it, I definitely appreciated that, and I understand what you're talking about. It's like when you're in the moment, you don't appreciate the journey you took to get there sometimes, and you don't acknowledge, you don't smell the flowers while you're there sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, like we'd be out in these like great places and I'd just be thinking like fight, 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 fight. You know what I mean? Like I'd just be stuck on it. Like this last fight, um, I fought, my son was there. And like he was in the back with me and I was like wrapping his hands, taping his hands for him, like, just hanging out. And I got to like just be in the moment and share it with my son. And he got to sit cage side, he was like
Oh,
all
that's
nervous.
cool.
Yeah, so it was a real good experience because I'm not sure if I'll be fighting in Hawaii, anytime soon, because that was hard enough to happen. It's hard to make that happen, right?
Yeah.
So if I do, it'll probably be in the mainland somewhere.
Well, that might be a good reason for all of us to go again.
Why not, right?
Yup. That was always good fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. We went, we went, yeah, we had a couple after parties after. Night
yeah,
swim, we went.
yeah. Oh, I see. That's the thing is like, those nights like we would drink so much that barely remember.
I remember we went to night swim at what was it? Fucking I forget the club. It was big. It had like it was huge, and we were all wearing the Russell Doane freaking devil shirt tank
Yeah,
top.
yeah,
Good times, man. Yeah, you got to go fight a mainland again.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I just throwing my name out there, seeing what's out there, what can happen. Trying to just like it's not like because I never stopped training. I
Yeah,
was always training, so I've still been, I still in very much in shape. I still
yeah.
get to spar and I do all my jujitsu and whatnot. So it's not like I've been inactive. I've totally been active, just I wasn't fighting. So
Well, I'm like you said, it's something you want to do, and fuck, you got to do it until you are done with it. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's weird. It makes me happy.
yeah, and
I just love beating people up, man.
I'm glad you're understanding and taking time to appreciate the moments, and that's gonna stick with you the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, for sure. Like even through for like a small while, I probably wasn't active enough. And my therapist, I was seeing a therapist for like court stuff. But
Yeah,
actually, like I really like going to see her. She helps me talk stories. And I was telling her about jujitsu, and I was telling her how I feel like I really need people that are gonna push me, test me, like really beat me up. And what she told me was, what the hell was it? Oh, okay. So she told me she said, "You're used to dining with kings and queens, but you've been eating with the peasants." And I was like, God damn. I was like, this woman she's spitting bars right now. Like, man, I gotta go hang out with more kings and queens, man.
Write that shit down.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I wasn't ready. I was like, wow, it's like life stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I always make sure I have enough time to go get my ass kicked.
All right, before we go, you've been almost an hour. I wanted to ask you one thing is, brah, are you happy right now? Like, are you happy?
Man, I'm fucking stoked. I'm having so much fun. Like I'm really enjoying like my days, my nights. I get a little busy sometimes, but better than being bored, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Better being than doing construction.
anything's better than that. I'm telling you, before I go back to construction, I will sell feet picks. I don't care what the fuck I have to do. I'm not going back. I'll never lift a hammer for money. I'll lift it. Hey, some of the boys want to help build a wall at one of our friends' house. I'm down. I'll help out. Grab me a beer. You know what I mean? Never for money, Rod.
You
Cannot.
know, feet your only fans.
Yeah, yeah, but man, I've this especially like after all like COVID and stuff, like I'm pretty sure everybody's going through hard times, but I've been like really hitting this like good stride, like this upward stride where
Good,
like
bro.
yeah, like it just keeps getting better. Y- like I can't wait for what's gonna come up this year, like all the good things that are gonna happen and whatnot.
Right on. That's what I wanted to hear, man. I always think about you and watch your videos and see how you're doing in life and I appreciate you, man. I had a lot of fun moments with you, and I had a lot of fun moments with my friends and family watching you compete, and it's all fun and love, bro. It's been. Oh, I know what. Do you remember when we fucking pushed that big ass bale from my truck all the way down the beach and lit that thing on fire?
Yeah, yeah. That was that night that Taylor and your nephew were like wrestling in the sand, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Remember pushing that thing and we pushed that thing far, right? That thing
We
was
did.
heavy.
Yeah,
I
I
just
remember
seen a picture of that thing. It looked like a meteor hit the beach when we lit
that.
it. I just see. I think that's the reason why I seen that picture. I'm like, oh, I should have Russell come on the podcast.
That was a good time. That
Yeah.
was a fun time. Man, I remember you guys' house parties were always so epic.
Oh yeah.
But
You
you
gotta
got that,
come Kanyo if we ever do one again.
yeah, yeah, that little landmine game.
Oh yeah, we still do all the fucking
Yeah,
games. Huh?
those are all the best games, man.
Everybody would get wrecked.
Yeah, the Thumper.
Yo. Oh yeah, I haven't had a house party in a while.
Yeah, yeah. Just gotta make sure none of our kids. And
Yo,
then,
everybody got an Uber.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, I hope to hear about your next upcoming fight so we can probably try and plan something out and bro, that'd be fun to get the boys. I know the boys would rally around you fighting again, bro. We'd definitely make something happen. Where can people find you on Instagram?
Instagram is Wreck-It Russ 28, like Wreck-It Ralph, but Russ. You
And
know.
people can go to your Instagram, DM you for funny content as well if they want to get in touch with you for personal training
Yeah,
or
feed pics, whatever.
she's OnlyFans. Watch, bro. People gonna hear this and they're gonna like freaking
Hey, bro, if you pay me, I'll put my foot in some mashed potatoes, or
or
I'll
just
like you know what I mean? Put some
some
pancakes.
squid luau.
Yeah, you tell me what you want. I'll take that picture, man.
Okay, bro. If you don't blame me if you start getting DMs,
Yeah,
bro.
no, no, fuck my pride.
You're gonna like one nut dipped in a fucking gravy. Anyway, well, thanks for coming on, brother. Bro, I haven't talked to you in a while, so that was it's always good fun to talk to you, man. For us, you can find us at Above the Bridge Podcast, on Instagram, our YouTube Above the Bridge Podcast, our website is atbpod.com, and my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Well, man, I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you for taking time out of your night to come chat with me, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yeah,
thinking of me.
yeah, dude. So you're the guy I wanted to start off the new year with, bruh. My first podcast after the break, so perfect. Worked out perfect.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, shakas for the cameras. All right, bro. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.